But the other death, which hit us kind of all surprise also, which was even younger, is a wrestler by the name of Ashley MARSSARO. Now, for those, once again, Ashley was part of the Divas division back in 2005. She won, excuse me, she won the Raw Divas search in 2005. And I remember the Raw Divas. I was not a big fan of the $250,000 Raw Divas search. And it's very hard that she passed away at the age of 39. They didn't release any details on it until later on. And, I feel bad because I'm going to be completely honest when I'm talking about Ashley, because I don't want to seem like a hypocrite. I don't want to seem as if, because she died and, all of a sudden, oh man, Ashley's all this. I'll be completely honest with you. I hated Ashley. Not the person, the character. I never liked Ashley. When she came on my screen, I got sick. I hate. If any of my friends who remember Ashley or listen to any of my old podcasts where I talk about her, Ashley was never my favorite at all. And it hurts me to say that, but yes, I was hard on her, because when Ashley first came in on the Raw Diva search, I was like, because I was the kind of guy, I was going for women's wrestling, because I was a big fan of TNA, and TNA was doing the knockouts right. I was over there at TNA looking at Gail Kim and Awesome Kong bring down the house. I was over there watching ODB and Angelina Love and Velvet Sky and Madison Rayne all in the come-ups. Tyra went over to TNA and did wonders over there. So did Mickie James later on down. But these women in the beginning, Roxy and Soldier Bowden, Raka Khan, and all them, they was all over there in the women's division doing it up, and the women was getting time in that division. So I was looking at WWE to catch up, because WWE had some women that I was really looking forward to, and in that time frame they was looking for more women, but at that time they were looking for supermodels. They were looking for women that had a cute face and that was supermodel that they could teach her how to do an arm drag to. It's basically what it was. Now, I never said Ashley wasn't attractive. I thought Ashley was very attractive. And then, but I always did not like, even at the age that I always hated what they used to make these women do for the $250,000 Raw Diva show. It was kind of just like basically like a women's tough enough, just trying to find women. So she ends up winning Tough Enough, and then they automatically put her with Trish Stratus. And when I was looking at that, to me it was looking like they were trying to make the punk rock Trish Stratus type thing. They try to have her follow in Trish Stratus' footsteps, and she was horrible. She was horrible. She couldn't wrestle, and she had not too much personality and charisma. Not until later on, when she actually went with like Paul London, Brian Kendrick, and did the manager stuff and everything like that, or where she actually went on her own and had like a match with Melina. I believe she was the one that had a match with Melina at WrestleMania 23 for the Women's Championship. They only got 3 minutes, but that she does have a WrestleMania matchup underneath her thing. So when I was watching her, I was like, "Oh, this gonna be Trish Stratus' replacement?" She was doing a little bit of Paige before the Paige thing was, but Paige was actually good. So I was like, I didn't like it, and you're coming here trying to take up my Trish Stratus. I did not like it at all. And when it came to her and her not wrestling, I was tired of bringing in another woman that couldn't wrestle. I was tired of just trying to bring in these cute girls, stuff like that, so we could hear these screaming matches, as I called them. So I didn't like it at all, I'll be honest with you. And when she left, she wasn't released. She asked to be released because I forgot what I don't know if she was going through some things, or I think her daughter was sick. I believe her daughter was sick, and that she had to leave. So, I commend her for that. Go and take care of your family, because this job at WWE is very, very stressful. And yes, okay. So I was reading it. Yeah, she got sick in mid 2008, and she had to ask to be released from WWE. So that she had to go take care of her daughter. And there was other interviews that I had to look into, which actually kind of broke my heart a little bit, because she was actually trying to make a comeback into wrestling, and she wanted to actually learn how to wrestle. And you know, that's one of the things. You know, I feel bad for being hard on people like that, especially her, especially a lot of the women that come in here and are being like supermodels, stuff like that. Kind of like when I was hard on Tori Wilson for being in the Hall of Fame. And sometimes these women don't have any control over what Vince McMahon wants them to do. To be honest with you, Vince McMahon just wants these ladies to a lot of times be porn stars in the ring and just do an arm drag and a drop kick for 30 seconds. That's basically what they want to do, instead of come out here and learn the art of women's wrestling and wrestling in general. So, you know, I do feel bad that she was trying to make a little bit of a wrestling comeback. I mean, she kept her body in shape, and then we got the news that she had been rushed to the hospital and that she had passed away at 39 years old. When you hear somebody when they pass away at that young age, the first thing that automatically goes in your mind is, what did they do to themselves, or what happened to them? Because usually at that kind of age, you don't think sickness. Now, don't get me wrong. There, kids die from cancer. Young adults die from cancer. But things happen. Sicknesses happen. But it's just that 8 times out of 10, when you hear 39 years old, I was like, I'm praying that she didn't take herself out. And it looks like what they're saying now is that she did take herself out. And it's very saddening. It's very saddening, because there was a thing also, because this, I don't know if this was could have been part of the allegation though, but she had jumped on a lawsuit that was created against WWE, because she said that she joined a class action lawsuit against WWE. And it was a number of different lawsuits alleging that she was being sexually assaulted at a U.S. military base during WWE's tour of Kuwait. This Kuwait tour, I'm trying to think, this had to be back, because back in the mid-2000s, the WWE always traveled to, this is back when they actually went out to those war bases, such as Tribute to the Troops, or you know, the different things you should do during the year. That was a very hot thing from 2003 to like 2007, when WWE started doing that, and they would actually fly these people out there, and they would fly their different superstars out to meet the troops, you know, to help give the troops a helping hand. I agree with all that stuff, and it's some of the things, you know, I wouldn't want to go on, to be completely honest with you. But once again, though, that's a different story for a different day. But she claimed that she had been sexually assaulted, and then WWE apologized but persuaded her not to report it to the appropriate authorities. The lawsuit was dismissed in later 2018. Then it says here, after her death, WWE said they received an email from MARSSARO on October 2018 in which she expressed regret for having taken part in the lawsuit. And now, I have known that when there are lawsuits against WWE, or when there's lawsuits against big organizations, NFL, NBA, stuff like that, when people want to jump on there, especially WWE, they forget these people ever existed. They do. You look at Demolition and stuff, people like that, for these concussion lawsuits, and anything that has the potential to take them down, that's what it is. Now, I'm not saying that this assault thing just goes unnoticed, it goes underneath the rug or anything of that nature, but it could have been a thing which it could have caused a great deal of depression for this lady, because of the heat that he could have brought on her for something that could have really happened to her at that time. So I'm not really necessarily sure. I have to look more into the story. But there were claims that she was battling depression. Depression is terrible. It really is. I have dealt with depression in my life before. My sister deals with depression. My mother deals with depression. Like, depression is easy to come up on people, and it sucks when you have depression and you have nobody to help you. And sometimes people are just not as strong to help get themselves out of depression without getting some serious help. So when they found her dead, I was just like, it looks like it could have been a suicide. They transported her to a Long Island hospital, and then her daughter came out and say that this happened, but they never gave us no details. And I was just thinking to myself, like, look, we've seen this happen to Tess, Mike Awesome, Lance Cade, like those people who took their own life. The unfortunate thing of Chris Benoit, but it was saying that when TMZ came out about it, it was saying that there was an apparent suicide by hanging. And that's sad. Especially when you read her Instagram posts the day before she passed away. She's showing all these fan mail. She took a picture of all these letters, and it just says, the caption underneath says, "Just answered a ton of fan mail, so you guys should be receiving them soon. Love y'all." And Punk, we know, with the black heart and the whole, the emoji. I don't know my emojis too well. And then she dies. And then she passes away. And it's so sad, because it really is very sad that this happened to this young lady. And I wanted to be honest at the beginning and let y'all know that I wasn't going to kiss her ass, because I was not a fan of her as the character. There are a lot of characters we're not a fan of, and to this day, God forbid anything happens to those people, as the person, you don't want to see nobody die, especially not in this kind of way. You want them to see them live their life to the fullest extent, the fullest that it could be. But when things happen, it's hard to explain. There are going to be people out there that it's like this. Hey, I hate Roman Reigns. What if Roman Reigns had passed away from that cancer? Then all of a sudden everybody will be, oh, Roman, oh, I mean, it's kind of happening now. But like, to me, I never had a problem with Roman Reigns. But there are people that just turned over because he had cancer. Ashley, as the character, as the wrestler, and what I see a performer do, I was never a fan of her. I really had a problem with Ashley. And I think that was just one of the things I just did not like. But it's very unfortunate that, that this woman had to die the way she did, and leave behind her daughter, and leave about all her family and things of that nature because of depression and hanging. And just like, look, get help when you can. Talk to somebody if you need to talk to somebody, because that stuff is very deadly, man. You see too many celebrities and stars and just regular people do that, just take their own lives, and you don't know what's on the other side. And I'm not trying to turn it to no big religious thing or anything like that. This is the only life we know. You want to try to stay on this earth as long as you can, because people out there love you. People out there care about you, and you may not think they do, but they do. And it's hard to actually come out there and ask people for help, or it's actually kind of hard for you to get the love from people that you want. But you have got to be the one to be strong enough to tell yourself in your mind that there is a better way than going over to that unknown. At least right now, you are here for a reason. You are really here for a reason. So, my condolences and my prayers go out to her daughter. It's just very, very sad that this had to happen. Rest in peace, Ashley. I'm sorry that, we didn't get all better. I wasn't a big enough fan of hers. And to this day, as a character, I'm still not a fan of hers at all. Ain't like I'm going to be cramming for her to be in a video game or anything of that nature. But it's very unfortunate that this woman lost her life.